Hi everyone. As part of this problem, we have the input data set as a text file that is jalebi.txt. So this file contains the details of how the sweet jalebi is prepared. But as we see, there are certain characters which is making it difficult to read. So the requirement here is we need to replace these characters which are little weird and causes difficulty in reading to replace with plain English characters R and S. So let's get started and solve this problem.
Mmm, yummy,
So
yummy.
now as a first step, we will load the input data set that is jalebi.txt into the data frame. So to do that, we will use the Spark Read API. The input data set is a text file. So we will specify the format as text. We will specify the path where this data set is located. So we will go to the catalog and get the path for this file. So we have copied it and now we will use it in the notebook. We will load this data set and let's see the data frame, what data it contains, whether it successfully picked the data set or not. So we have loaded the data set into the input data frame. As we see, the data is loaded into a column named value. So whenever we load a text file, by default, all the content is loaded into a single column named value. So we have loaded the data. Now we need to replace these characters. To do that, we will be using Spark SQL function. So to utilize the Spark SQL function, we need to have the right imports. So let's quickly add that and then proceed with the operation. So we have added the import statement. Now we will operate on the input data frame to complete the operation. So what we will do is we will add a new column. Let's call this as formatted details. And in this, we are going to use the translate function. So in the translate function, we will pass this column that is value on which we are going to operate. And then we will specify what are the characters we need to replace. So in this case, we have to replace these characters with R and S. So we have to specify what are those characters which we need to replace. So let's add them here sequentially and then specify with which this have to be replaced. So what this translate function does is it operates on the column on which we have to do the replacement. And here is the characters which needs to be replaced. And these are the characters which will be replacing these characters. And there is one-to-one correspondence. So this R will be replaced with this S will replaced with this. So this way there is one-to-one correspondence between the character to be replaced and the replacing character. So we have utilized this translate function. Now let's see the output, whether we have correctly done the replacement of these characters. So now we have two columns in the output. One is the input column that is value and second is the output column that is formatted details. So we have both the data. This is the original data and this is the replaced data. So let's keep only the replacement column and see the data. So we will use select and keep only the formatted details column as part of the output. So let's run and see the output. So as we see, we have rightly replaced these characters R and S wherever they are occurring. Now this text is quite easier to read and we have solved the problem. Okay. Now there is one thing regarding this function translate. So to whichever character we want to replace, we should specify that in the sequential manner. And then if there are any characters which we want to eliminate. So for example, if like we had to eliminate this small a, so we can mention it at the end. And for this, we don't have to specify any replacement character. So it will be eliminated. So let's run and see that as part of the demo. So as we see, wherever there is a, it has been eliminated. So we can use this translate function for eliminating the characters as well. And if there are multiple characters, we can specify that in here, and then we can run this. So all those characters which we don't require, we can specify in the character to be replaced, and nothing specified corresponding to them, and it will be removed. So that can be another use case for utilizing this function. So let's revert this back to what we required. So this way we have solved the problem. Let's have a quick walkthrough of what we have done to reach to the solution. So first of all, we have used the SparkRead API to load this text formatted data into the input data frame. And as we know, whenever we load the text file, by default, it goes into the value column. So after the data was loaded, we operated on that data frame. We created a new column and then utilized the translate function for replacing each of the characters with the plain English characters. And as we know, there is one-to-one correspondence. So in that order, we have specified the input characters to be replaced and the replacement characters. And finally, we have kept only this column as part of the output. So this way we have solved the problem. The content of the input data set will be added as part of the video description. Hope you found the video useful. Please like it if you found it useful. Please subscribe the channel if you have not yet subscribed. And please share the video in your circle so that more people can benefit. Thank you.